I'm sorry if I read this and immediately thought, oh, this is lathered, marinated, soaked, drowned in shade towards Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA coaching situation just exploded. Stephanie White did it again. She thought that she could talk shit about Caitlin Clark and her fans would let it slide? The woman had the audacity, the guts to believe she could disrespect the greatest superstar WNBA has ever seen without consequences? How innocent of her. How absolutely naive. Oh, what a sweet little delusion that turned out to be.
To the season. This is crazy. This is wild. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know what's going on. Stephanie White's a bum and needs to be fired. That's what's going on.
What started as a casual post-game comment by Stephanie White turned into a full-scale controversy within hours. Fans didn't let it slide. The internet had other plans. It just exploded. The news is all over the media, spreading like a wildfire. The backlash is absolutely insane. Fans are losing their minds.
So fixated on this system and this style of play is disgusting. You are disgusting as a head coach.
A head coach who is supposed to be its player's biggest champion just threw its biggest player, Caitlin Clark, under the bus with her statement. The statement? Absolutely shocking.
Oh, the blessing that Caitlin Clark is not playing. I mean, that comment in itself, the blessing that Caitlin Clark is not playing is utterly freaking insane.
So stay tuned, because we're about to unveil the most explosive coaching drama the WNBA has seen in years. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why fans are calling for Stephanie White's resignation. And if you think Stephanie White should just leave, drop a fire White in the comments below. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
Folks, yet again, the Indiana Fever faced the Chicago Sky, and yet again, we whoop that. Oh boy.
Last night, Indiana Fever secured a stunning victory. It wouldn't be wrong to say the Fever completely dominated the Sky, both literally as well as metaphorically. All the players from Lexi Hull to Sophie Cunningham contributed to the win. But let's just not forget that Chicago Sky was a team sitting at 8-23, basically struggling and serving as the league's punching bag.
Again, just like I said last night, if you take away the 4 victories over the Chicago Sky, this team is 14-14.
And after that victory, Stephanie White decided to get philosophical. But what she said next has fans furious and analysts scratching their heads. Here is what she said: when you love who you come to work with every day, when it's not about you, and it's about everybody else, and it's about the whole, it makes it worth it.
I'm sorry if I read this and immediately thought, oh, this is lathered, marinated, soaked, drowned in shade towards Caitlin Clark.
You heard that, right? But here's the problem with this seemingly innocent statement. The timing and context make it a direct attack on Caitlin Clark. When White emphasizes, when it's not about you, she's clearly referring to Clark's individual stardom and impact. She's basically saying the team functions better when it's not centered around Caitlin Clark. She is trying to imply what she has said multiple times as well, that the absence of Caitlin Clark is a blessing in disguise. Like, really? Are you in your freaking senses? This isn't just poor timing, it's calculated shade.
She just told you that was a blessing in disguise that Caitlin Clark is not playing.
White is suggesting that Clark's presence makes it about her instead of about the whole. She is trying to say that Clark is a selfish superstar who disrupts Team Unity team's chemistry. But in reality, Clark is the sole reason this team has got any relevance at all.
Y'all, this thing was supposed to be built upon Caitlin Clark's strengths. It's that simple.
The message she's trying to convey is quite clear. We play better basketball when our biggest star isn't dominating the spotlight. That is not coaching. That is pure jealousy.
She hates Clark, bro. She's jealous. She's envious. Clark is what she wished she was. Clark is what...
She's clearly taunting Caitlin Clark. The timing could not have been more brutal than this. Caitlin Clark is already struggling with her groin injury, and it isn't just the physical pain she is going through, but also the psychological pressure and mental turmoil that come along. Clark recently talked about this in her interview as well, about the struggle and the mental state she's going through.
Had to go through. Like, I've never been through anything like this. Like, and I think that's probably why it's been so hard, because like I've never really dealt with injury, and the
statement from Stephanie White, instead of boosting her confidence, would shatter it even more. Instead of healing her, would break her even more.
she's really happy Caitlin Clark's not playing. I gotta believe that at this point. How could you ever say it's a blessing in disguise to lose your best player?
The statement made her struggles, her efforts negligible. This isn't coaching wisdom, this is coaching sabotage. This makes you question what is happening behind the closed scenes. The fans aren't buying it.
Yeah, I know the old saying, the chickens is coming home to roost. Well, that's exactly what is happening for the Indiana Fever front office, baby.
The fans saw right through this thinly veiled attack on Caitlin Clark. They are quite well aware of white mentality. Social media is absolutely destroying white right now. The Indiana fans are in absolute revolt. The evidence is everywhere on all the social media platforms flooded with Stephanie White's firing demands.
Willing to do it. Coach is a fraud. There we go. She don't love Caitlin Clark. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
One fan perfectly captured what everyone's thinking. Coach is a fraud. She doesn't love Caitlin Clark. And honestly, they're not wrong. Another fan said, I get the whole team concept, but you don't make CC fit the whole team. You fit a team around her.
I get the whole team concept, but you don't make CC fit the whole team. You fit a team around her.
This is exactly what championship coaches understand. And that even what Sophie Cunningham too pointed out in one of her interviews, the entire system. Yes, the entire system needs to be adjusted to accommodate Caitlin Clark's talent.
Just said. That is what one Sophie Cunningham just said. Caitlin is that great, and we need to play a different style when she is available.
But apparently Stephanie White missed that. Or most probably she is just jealous of Caitlin Clark. And she shows it all the time through these kind of petty statements.
Facts. The only one that does not seem to understand that is head coach, the fraud, the clown, Stephanie White.
She is one of those I, me, and myself only kind of people. She's so full of herself. She is determined to prove that she is smarter than everyone else, including her own superstar player. But what is hilarious about this is that nobody believes her. The billion-dollar mistake.
This team has got $1 billion written all over it if they don't blow it. If they don't blow it. This team has got a chance to one day be worth $1 billion, and I believe that day's not that far away.
What makes this entire situation absolutely infuriating is that Indiana Fever is sitting on a gold mine right now, and Stephanie White is determined to blow it up.
You do realize you can win a championship with Caitlin Clark leading the charge? Question mark? In fact, I believe it's the only way this team ever wins a championship.
This franchise has the potential to be the first ever WNBA team valued at over $1 billion. You heard that right? Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player, she is a phenomenon.
This. Good job. Oh, please, says Coach White. The very same one that said Caitlin Clark being injured is a blessing in disguise. Maybe she ought to take her own advice.
She single-handedly made the team talk of the town. She gave it millions of fans and thousands of moments to cherish. She made it the most watched and the most followed team at WNBA. Before her, Indiana Fever was nothing. So she is a cultural phenomenon, someone who has the ability to transform this league into mainstream entertainment.
White spoke in a cold and pragmatic tone about Clark's absence and framed it as a positive opportunity for the rest of the roster instead of acknowledging what a massive loss it was for
The coaching situation is not just poor management. It is a fundamental misunderstanding of how to maximize generational talent. We unfortunately are witnessing a superstar potentially gets wasted in her prime years under incompetent coaching. Caitlin Clark should be setting records and winning championships. Instead, she's dealing with a coach who sees her greatness as a threat rather than an asset.
Social media has erupted with fans calling for White's immediate termination because they're sick of watching their favorite player get disrespected by her own head coach.
White is deliberately trying to sabotage her talent. Caitlin Clark just recently revealed in her recent interview how she's arriving at the arena 4 hours early compared to her teammates, doing more than everybody else.
I'm there like 4 hours early. Like, it's just hard. It makes for long days. And
This clearly shows that she was overworked. She is now battling injuries just because of White's pathetic coaching. The uncomfortable truth.
Honestly, comes across as a little weird sometimes. I gotta believe that sometimes the Stephanie White truthers have ulterior motives.
So in the end, it's all about Stephanie White being jealous of Caitlin Clark. Clark represents everything White never was. The attention, the skill, the impact Clark has, White could only dream about it. So in her jealousy, White is passing such absurd statements. This isn't about basketball anymore, this is about ego.
Here's the thing about it, Stephanie White. You don't have a better basketball IQ than Caitlin Clark. That's the whole problem with this shit. You think you do, but you don't. You need to let her play her fucking game. Otherwise, why the fuck did you...
And the backlash Stephanie White is facing isn't just fan emotion. It's recognition of a fundamental truth. That is, Stephanie White is not the right coach for Caitlin Clark, and Indiana Fever needs to get rid of her as soon as possible. But the question is whether the Indiana Fever's high authority will understand this or not. What do you think? Should the Fever make a coaching change? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more explosive basketball breakdowns.